I really don't know anything about fashion, okay? I wear what my 10-year-old daughter tells me to wear, and when I get an outfit right, she tells me I'm a rocket ship of fashion. And that's what I know about fashion, the end. Hi, I'm Lacey J. I'm an entrepreneur who started a social media agency at age 22. Weird, I know. I've been niching it down and building it up over the last 11 years, and a long 11 years they have been. Being on social media so much is hard on my and my team's mental health, so we work to find routines, balance, and focus on ethics that keep us showing up authentically online. If you manage social media accounts and you feel confused, unfocused, or straight up wackadoo, welcome to the club. We meet here once a week. Hello and welcome back. It is sweater weather. I got a new sweater this week and I'm excited about it. So you're welcome if you're watching this on video. If you're watching it on audio, you're really missing out. I apologize. Let's talk this week about what's not working right now on social media. And I'm calling this week Meta Meltdown. Okay. God, there's a lot of things glitching out right now on Facebook and Instagram. Let's talk through some of them. 3 out of 10 people on the Spry team this week all reported in that they were having issues with Facebook itself, glitching, timing out, crashing. So what that looked like for me is when I was opening Facebook, it took many more seconds than normal for everything to load. When I go to try to switch my stupid account, I want to manage a page, it's taking me 3 times as long for every single page to load, and it's not happening on any other website. So that was really stressful and cumbersome for me this week. I know that when people were trying to put out ads too, there were glitches happening, the site crashing. So about 30% of us on our team have been experiencing that this week. If you've been experiencing that too, you're not alone. Another big thing that was causing issues this week was Instagram insights. I mean, it's not even just this week. It's it's forever, okay? They put together that new professional dashboard depending on the type of account that you have, and ever since that dashboard has come onto the Instagram app, we've been having some serious issues getting reliable data from Instagram insights. If you're having a positive experience with Instagram Insights right now, I would love to know, because literally nobody that I know is having that positive experience with Instagram Insights. Here are the few things that we've been noticing in our engagement with Instagram Insights. Follower growth is not showing up properly at all. I've got a client who consistently, whenever we promote a post, we get new followers. It's awesome. This last week, we ended up with about 100 new followers from one of the ads that we ran. And we go in, we look at the past 7 days of insights, and it shows follower growth of 0%. When I loaded up Instagram, I saw it move from 4,228 to 4,309. I saw it refresh, and you go into insights, it says 0% follower growth increase. So do not trust the dashboard that is within Instagram Insights right now, especially related to follower growth. Instead, I hate to say it, but you should probably be doing some manual recording of statistics, okay? So maybe what that means is every week when you start with this client, you're opening up, you're adding into your spreadsheet what their followers look like right now. It's important to have that manual data because what's happening in the dashboard is not reliable. Another issue that I'm seeing, or at least something that I didn't expect to happen or not happen, is collaborative reels. The data that comes through when you are a collaborator on a post, it's not showing up in your content interactions. So let's say you're trying to report on engagement, right? And you've worked really hard to create some of these partnerships with brands where you're creating collaborative content. Well, if the other person on the collaborative piece of content is the one that posted the reel, they are the only one that is getting rewarded for that, or that engagement is actually being shown within the dashboard. Another thing with Instagram Insights that's been giving us issues is when we're selecting specific time periods. For instance, we have multiple clients who we do only quarterly reporting for, and here we are in month 10, so it's time to finish up Q3 reports. Well, we're going into Instagram and we're using the 90 days, the last 90 days time selection, and it's glitching out and crashing, the whole app crashing when we're trying to get those 90 days of data. So that's extremely frustrating. Instead, we try to work around where we went into Facebook Business Suite and looked for the data there. And we have some data that's least comparable, but it's not the same data that we're finding in Instagram Insights. So that sucks. Sometimes when we have an issue like that, we end up having to maybe uninstall the app and reinstall it. But the danger that you have with that is if you have any drafts saved, any post drafts, any real drafts, they go away anytime that you uninstall and reinstall an app. So I'm sorry if you're dealing with some quarterly reporting issues right now. The last thing with Instagram Insights that's really bugging me is collaborative posts do not count in your overall statistics. So let's say, for instance, that you've worked really hard at building some partnerships and creating some collaborative content. If you are not the person that initially publishes the content, let's say, for instance, the other creator is the one that publishes it first and invites you to be the collaborator. Well, even though that post is showing up in your feed and your audience is seeing it, it's not being added to your Insights dashboard. So we've been this month manually adding that data into our content interactions and our engagement numbers, and that sucks. Anytime that we have to rely on doing some manual math, there's more opportunity for error, and that's tough. But there's no other way to do that right now other than manually adding it in if you were not the original author of the collaborative post. So think about that when you're creating any reports. If those numbers aren't being added in automatically, make sure that you're giving yourself credit for those in the reporting that you're doing. Okay. The last thing that I want to talk about is outside of Insights, and we're going into some ads, okay? So there are some pretty major ad restrictions coming up in a few weeks. In Meta Ads Manager, if you log in, you're going to see a banner up at the top that says, upcoming restriction period in the US. New social issue, electoral, or political ads can't run from November 1st to the 8th. Existing ads can run with limitations, okay? So what does that mean for you? It means that if you're planning to create any content, even content that doesn't like lean to a party or have specific candidates mentioned or anything, maybe you're just creating content that promotes people voting. You will not be able to promote that content between November 1st and November 8th. Okay, even if you're saying get out there and vote, it's election day, it's election week, you are not going to be able to promote those posts within that time period. Also, remember, if you have any posts like that you're planning on doing, you have to have a confirmed identity with Facebook, with Meta first. So it's quite a process. So what can we do about it? It sounds like this is only related to new posts and new promotions that you're trying to run. So what that means is that you could create the content before November 1st and get the ad running and approved before the deadline, and it would be able to run properly. It says with limitations. I have no idea what those limitations are. They probably don't even know what those limitations are. Only some bot somewhere knows what those limitations are. But if you want to run an ad like this, you need to get it all the way published, approved before November 1st if you have any hopes of it running during that time. Let's see. An important thing to remember is that it's not just election-focused content that falls into this category. At the very beginning of that, they also said social issue. And guess who gets to pick what a social issue is? Somebody within Facebook gets to pick what that is, and it is always oppressive, okay? What that means is that if there are any words like Black, like Indigenous, like Latino in your content, it will be flagged as a social issue. It is unfair, it is wrong, but it's the system that we're working within right now. So, what that means is that if you're running social media accounts serving communities of color and you reference that in your content between November 1st and November 8th, your ads will get rejected. And the more rejected ads that you have, the more likely you are for your ad account to become disabled. So, my recommendation is if you have any ads that you're trying to run, you need to get them done and published prior to November 1st so that you don't run the risk of having some flagged for being social issues during that time. Now, as a reminder, we talked about this a few weeks ago, but during the few weeks before and few weeks after an election, it is a stressful place to be on social media. So you might be wise to choose to put more of your content posting before or after election week and leave that time where the election discourse is more full. Leave your posts out, maybe. You don't need to post during that time. You would be better to focus on presence management during that time, on monitoring the posts that you already have up, monitoring the comments, making sure that you are staying on top of any troll and bot comments that are coming through. There are a lot of them, okay? I saw just this week on a political candidate's Instagram. It happens more often on Facebook, but I saw it on their Instagram. 2 quick comments that came that were against that candidate. What do? I go and I click on the profile of the person who made those comments. I can see that that person's profile was opened a whopping 3 months ago, that it states a location as if this is like a real person, but it only has 2 posts that are political in nature, and it's using specific hashtags that are supposed to be against that candidate. Bot comments, okay? They did a good job creating the profile to mimic something that could look like a real person, but based on the amount of content, the time that that account was put up, and the type of comments that they're making, easy to tell that this is coming from a bot and not a real person. So you really have to be on top of that during the next few weeks, or else your content is going to end up with all of these bot comments that are often offensive. There's art that's often added to these comments on Facebook that's political in nature and often quite offensive and triggering to people. So you've got to be on top of your presence management over the next month. It's rough out there, but I believe in you. Lean into your community. You're going to be all right, okay? Hey, if you're looking for ways to build your foundational social media strategy skills, we've got a course for that. I worked with Adrian Harvey, who's the lead digital strategist at Spry, has a master's in digital media, and has worked in digital marketing for over 10 years to create this course. The course is called Social Media on Purpose, and it takes all of the lessons we've learned over our combined 24 years in the industry and distills them down into bite-sized lessons for you to enjoy. If you're interested, check it out at thinkspry.com/courses. Also, we're kind of cute and funny if that's important to you. All right, before I send you off, I want to leave you with one thought, which is when you're going on social media right now, there's going to be a lot of controversy, and so your job is to curate your own social media in a way that's going to be safe for you, okay? So you can train your social media algorithms very well if you really work at it. One thing I want you to think about is if there is content that you do not want to see more of, it is not helpful for you to push the sad face next to it. It is not helpful for you to, on Instagram, send this post to your friend so that you in DMs can just talk about how horrible it is. Any time that you do any sort of engagement with content that is triggering to you, that you really actually don't want to see more of, you're actually training the algorithm to show you more of it because you engaged with it. Even if it's not public engagement like a comment or a like I said, a DM to somebody, sharing that to somebody, that counts as an engagement, and Facebook or Meta or Instagram, whatever, is going to show you more of that. The best thing you can do to keep yourself safe on social media mentally during this time is ignore absolutely ignore. Don't even read the content that you don't want to see more of. Even keeping it on your screen for that long counts as a form of engagement, okay? And instead, intentionally engage with the content that you want to see, all right? So your niece posts something awesome from her volleyball game. That's the kind of content that you want to see. You better be liking that. You better be commenting on it. You better be sharing that one to your sister and telling her how proud you are. Those are the things that are going to keep your feed a comfortable and safe place for you over the next month, okay? So be intentional when you're logging on. Take a deep breath and think, I'm in charge of curating this experience for myself, and I'm going to ignore the things I don't want to see more of and intentionally engage with the things that I want to see more of, okay? Good luck. You're going to make it. We'll make it through together, and I will see you here next week. Bye.
Social Media with Lacey J is brought to you by Spry Social Media Marketing. Edited and produced by Chad Hinman and executive produced by Lacey J. Fott.